Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ellen with a Y goes live Tuesdays at 10. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I cannot believe it. It is our 25th episode. So we are having a quarter life crisis. We're having a quarter life crisis. We are expecting silver gifts. What else happens at 25? I'm not sure. I had a good 25th year. So really excited. Have a really full episode, a very special episode, because my guest this week is my forever audience member, biggest cheerleader, unwilling participant in the Ellen with a Y show. My roommate, Sarah Corbett, is going to be joining us later in the show. We are going to go through a lot of hot topics, so buckle up. I want to give a huge shout out to my cousin, Kelly Puleio. She's a photographer, and she has a book coming out that she shot for Ariana and Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules, Fancy AF Cocktails. Massive. I was on people.com today, and her name is like on the photos. It's so exciting, and I'm so proud of her, and she's such a big deal. So I just wanted to give her a huge shout out, and if you haven't pre-ordered the book, you can do so now on Amazon. We were talking about this before I even went live. Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart. Enough is enough. Are you together or are you not together? I just need to know if you're together or if you're not together. This toying with us, cat and mouse, commenting on comments by celebs, commenting on variety articles, saying things for birthdays, just be together or don't be together. But this toying with our emotions is too much. I wonder if the PR for Riverdale is you gotta drum it up. You gotta really make something happen here. KJ's never dating anyone, so it's your responsibility. Moving on, I think a lot of people are following the Gigi Hadid Tyler C from The Bachelorette drama because Gigi Hadid was hanging out with Tyler, who had just gone on a date with the Bachelorette Hannah, who left the guy that she picked from The Bachelorette because he was a deadbeat. So Gigi is hanging out with this Bachelor guy who he's a model, and he kind of does run in that that fashion model circle, so it's not totally crazy. I think Hannah should just bow out gracefully. He has now entered a new echelon that I'm sorry, no Bachelorette's getting to. Wells Adams is with Sarah Hyland, and that's close. But that's not Hadid, Jenner, no. Hollywood royalty. So just bow out. Then Bella Hadid, Gigi's little sister, just broke up with her boyfriend The Weeknd. So maybe she's getting a taste for these reality television model bros and is you know what? Peace out, Weeknd, Abel. I don't need to hang out with these moody artist. I'm just gonna go get myself a reality star guy who gets the hustle, who wants to be shot in paparazzi photos, and who wants to go, do whatever my sister's doing with this guy. So I just thought it was really funny. So that is the hot topic, interconnected, weird world of somehow The Bachelor and the Hadid weird microcosm royalty that exists out in Hidden Hills. So that brings me into my favorite summer segment, which is Big Brother-in-Law, where I go live with my brother-in-law, Wayne Stankewicz, and we talk about the latest and the greatest going on with Big Brother Season 21. Hi, Wayne.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, Wayne, Big Brother, Season 21. They've been in the house 45 plus days now. There's a lot going on.
Yep. And we're finally at jury now, so you're going to start seeing the game change around a little bit because everyone's going to try and stay friends with everybody while they're voting them out, which is always a tricky situation to be in.
Mm-hmm. Jury management is key.
Yep. And, we had our first big move of the season, it seems, this week. by Jess, of all people. Who would have ever expected that?
I didn't.
So finally, Jack and Jackson are up on the block, and hopefully one of them goes home, because they are the worst players in the entire game.
Yeah, they're kind of the worst, like, humans.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me an article earlier in the week about Jackson's past. I don't know if you want to go into that at all.
Well, who knows if it's true or not, but some kind of drama with him being involved in fraternity hazing and his chapter getting kicked off campus. I mean, it just seems like it's thing after thing after thing. It's like, I'm almost like, enough is enough. Kick them out, or let's just keep going.
Yeah, I read into it a little bit more to just see what information was out there, see what if they had mentioned anything on the live feeds. And apparently Jackson had brought it up to some people and made some comment that's like, oh yeah, I never did anything that they could, like, convict me of in court. So he's, like, well aware that he had done some pretty crappy things in his past, but is still just, like, too much of a sociopath to see how they affected people.
He's too much of a sociopath.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So now that the house is starting to, like, splinter and divide, where do you think the cookies are going to crumble? Like, is everyone going to become their own thing and move in with, like, Cliff and the Angels, and then they're going to pick off Holly and Sis and Christy and Tommy? Like, where do you think everything's going to shake out?
So I think Christy and Tommy are going to stick together. They're going to build their own group of followers, and I think that's going to be where the main two alliances fall in. You're going to have the Angels, and you're going to have whatever in Cliff and Holly put together. So there's going to be a scramble as soon as either Jack or Jackson get out to see where everyone else is going to fall out. And I think that's going to depend a lot on who it is. I mean, obviously, if Jackson goes home, Holly's going to need to find a new alliance. If Jack goes home, Annalise is going to need to find a new alliance.
Annalise is just going to go home.
Yeah.
She doesn't even, like, there's, like, nothing of consequence happening with her. I feel bad.
No, she is, like, the ultimate definition of being a floater.
Yeah, she really is. So what's your player of the week?
It's got to be Jess. I mean, she's the only one that's willing to actually do anything.
When she was talking in the HOH room, and she's like, I've been out of the loop for so long, and they've kept me in the dark. Like, they haven't included me, and they haven't tried to. And when she was like, I'm going to let them stay in the dark, I'm going to let them not know what's going on, it seemed like that was the most, like, cognizant and aware that she was a part of a game that, like, she's been. Because up until that point, she was in the bathroom doing her hair and was, like, surprised there was a 6. So now that she, like, kind of came into power, it seems like maybe she's waking up and realizing there's a game going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot fewer people left in the house for her to try and follow along with. I think maybe she was overwhelmed. Now that she's focusing more on the game, she'll be a little bit more successful. And I think part of her HOH win was due to that big blow-up argument that we saw on Sunday. Because right before they went live and right before they went into competition, everyone was heated.
Yeah.
Except for Jess and Nick and Cliff, I think, were, like, the only three.
They were calm.
So everybody else was so heated and flustered going into that mental comp. I think that really took away from their concentration, and that's kind of what let Jess sneak in and win.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest of this week goes, and I'm very excited to see the Julie Chen exit interview.
Oh, it's gonna be good, whoever it is. Julie
Chen Moonves. Thank you so much, Wayne, for joining me every week.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye. So that moves me into my food for thought segment. I'm here with the live studio audience of a lot of HR people here, okay? Anyway, we started talking a little bit about sexual harassment. Casual. Okay, so I was at work this week. We did mandatory sexual harassment training, which should be going on in all offices across America. Part of the conversation was, don't touch other people. And I don't know where you were in kindergarten when they taught keep your hands to yourself. Like, that was a pinnacle of the curriculum of kindergarten. And I'm just so curious how we had basically a nation take a sick day in kindergarten, like, collectively. I'm hearing about people who have like bosses who are like rubbing their shoulders and stuff. I'm like, are you clinically insane? In what world is it that you would ever touch another person without asking? It literally baffles me. Like, I think I'm just like really shook by that, but I'm also not, because there's so much that we've learned about in the last couple of years, and there's so much that like even on a day-to-day basis, I think so many people, men and women alike, are exposed to and go through. That's just something that I have been, I don't know, it's been sitting with me since I sat through a very long training.
It's legally required.
Is it really legally required 3 hours?
I think it's 2 if you're not a supervisor. Yeah.
Oh my God, can't they break it up? I haven't been in a classroom in years.
So knowledgeable.
I can't. No, it was great. Like, I love that we've had that. I think it's so good. Thank you, Refinery. There is something that then, again, my HR friends, we were talking about with like elevator eyes. The fact that, okay, so elevator eyes, for those of you who don't know, is when someone looks you up and down, like as if riding an elevator. The fact that that even has a phrase or a term is just pathetic. So I guess I'll just use this moment as a PSA for everyone that missed that day in kindergarten when the teacher said, keep your hands to yourself. I'm just gonna say it here now for everyone here. You just keep your hands to yourself. You ask permission if you wanna touch someone, and and get consent, and it has to be very, excited yes before someone can touch you. And also, you can't comment on how someone looks. You can only comment on their choice or style. So you can say you like my dress, or you like the color of lip I'm wearing, but you can't say, Ellyn, you look good in this dress, or Ellyn, your lips look luscious, even though they do. You just, again, as Casey Musgrave says, keep it to yourself. So that's the food for thought PSA of the week, which means my guest, my roommate, my unwilling audience member, weekly audience member, Sarah Corbett. Come on in. Woohoo!
Can I touch you? Is this comfortable for you?
I consent to this touch.
This is so fun.
So I always ask every guest, how do we know each other?
Ellyn and I spent a lovely time at Condé Nast. We both started at Fairchild. Oh my God, when was that? Like 2012 or 2013?
Yeah, 2013.
And you were one of the first managers I ever coached as an HR. I think I was a coordinator at the time.
Yeah.
And you had like a new hire, and we're not gonna go there. We're just not gonna go
We're not going there.
And we talked about some issues, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm like, I really like this person, Ellyn. And we were both looking for an apartment, and we're like, if I wasn't your HR person, we would live so well together. And then serendipitously, we sold Fairchild. Or not serendipitously.
Not for everyone.
We sold Fairchild, and then we didn't work together anymore.
We wound
You were
up
at
like
Vogue,
not
I
being...
was doing my own thing, and then I think it was Allie that said that we should be roommates.
Yeah, Allie was on with Jordan like at the very beginning of the show. And
Here we are.
4 years later.
Oh my God.
Roommates.
4 years.
4 years later, yes. And 4 years and 25 episodes in, we are currently occupying Sarah's living space to do this
Like
show.
a very small portion of the living space.
Some people don't realize that this is in the apartment.
I think you have to do like a full studio
I think
tour
I'm
one
gonna
day.
film like a BTS episode. I've been really lucky to benefit from a lot of like free HR advice because you work in HR. So Sarah is a senior HR business partner at Etsy. She was at Condé Nast. That's where we met. And I feel like I really get to benefit from all of your HR knowledge. I genuinely wish so many more people had like that kind of friend in their life that they could ask those questions of, because I don't think I would have had the confidence and the vocabulary to do and say the things I've needed to say in my career as a woman to get where I need to be in my life.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But what is that like for you? So we're the same age, but what is that like for you when you have people that are coming to you for advice, and like, maybe you don't always feel like you have the best possible answer, or maybe you don't even feel like you have the answer for yourself. How do you handle constantly advising?
Yeah, it's a surreal moment. Like I think we talk about this all the time in HR, because I have always worked with women who have like rose up in the ranks in HR. They just kind of are like, how did I end up in this position? Because I'm advising people that are, I think I say this to you all the time, that are pretty much like very much more senior than me and older and like more tenured in their roles, and they sometimes look at me and say like, oh, that's a really good idea, and I'm like, who are they talking to? But I think you just kind of learn over time. Like, there are things that they're good at that I don't have experience in, but there's like stuff that you realize that we do really well that they just like that makes them feel uncomfortable, like having to maybe let somebody go or have like a difficult conversation. And I get to practice those skills, I think, even with my friends all the time, just like having these kinds of conversations about sexual harassment. But like, it is so much part of what we talk about in society, so it kind of makes it a little more comfortable. But I don't think it's ever not gonna be surreal. Like, sometimes I'm just like, how am I advising on these wacky things? And then you get through it, and then you're like, okay, that wasn't so bad. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I need the same advice that I give. Like, I could be in the same exact situation that I coach people on, and I have no idea what to do, and I freak out. And like, I have to survey everyone. Yeah. I have to like talk to you. Even people at work, when I have like a situation that involves me personally, I'm like, I need the coaching. Yeah. And so like, everyone's different with themselves, but it's easier to like give advice, you know, to like friends and people you work with, and think about it for yourself.
Being that we are within your home, this is your dwelling, this is where you live, this is your private space. When I first...
So dramatic.
I know, but it is. When I first came home and I was like, so I think I'm going to start a talk show out of the apartment. Yeah. What was your initial... Yeah, I'm sure you remember the conversation.
No, I remember when you were like, oh, I want to ask you about something, but like, we could totally not do it. Like, you tell me if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, you gave me all the disclaimers up front. Like, we could do one episode and then like debrief on it. And I remember thinking like, first of all, that I have always been so impressed by you and like your ability. This type of thing, if it was me alone sitting up here, I'd freak out. Like, I'd be like, and we're live for 30 seconds. See you later. I now have hives. So I was really impressed that you were moving forward with it, because obviously living with you, I knew that you wanted to do something like that for a long time. But also, I think I was just like, how is this going to be like a bunch of people? I think I imagined it being like everybody, all the guests all the time coming over, and you know that I love a crowd and to entertain. I was like, a Tuesday, like on Tuesday, and then you were like, it processed in my head that you were like, if it doesn't work, then we'll figure it out. And I just like, I felt comfortable to know that I could tell you if I was like, I need to go to bed.
You had an out.
And also, disclaimers, I have like gone in my room and been like, Ellyn, I don't feel good tonight, or like, I've just cried in the shower because I'm PMSing or some stupid thing like that. And I don't interact with the guests. And I think like I'm gonna go. Once or twice I've like just been in my room and like gone to bed.
And I'm like the most considerate roommate. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm still gonna host the show.
Ellyn's like doing the whispering. No, it's just like whispering the show. I can't hear it from my room. No, so yeah, I think I was like excited, and also felt like it was an open door if it didn't work out. So I was not nervous, but just like,
you were like overcommitting yourself.
I just had no idea what it was.
What it even meant. Like, what it even meant. So I'm very lucky to have a roommate who supports me and people around me that support me. But sometimes I like to keep things to myself. This summer I actually took a stand-up comedy class with all women, which I thought was really helpful, and Sarah was really very kind to point out earlier, and I appreciated that. It was intentional. I was like wanting to create a safe space for myself to learn and grow and try something new, because I had said on the show that I did want to try stand-up, and I didn't really tell anyone, and I decided to try stand-up comedy, and I had like my graduation class this past weekend. Woo! It was great. Thank you. Sarah came to the show, like up in a mic, and I went to an open mic yesterday.
So good.
Thank you. So I'm just trying something new, and if you haven't noticed, all my little food for thoughts bits, those are essentially like the beginnings and the like kind of test ground for what I've been doing in class this whole summer, and actually the last 2 weeks that's been my set. So I have a solid 3 if anyone wants to book me for a stand-up comedy. I just figured I would like kind of come out and like tell the world that I'm like trying stand-up comedy now, and because I think it'll keep me committed to going and doing open mics, and it's something I really want to do. So like hosting and stand-up comedy, and you know, I enjoy it. So I'm doing that now.
I'm really proud.
Oh, thank you.
It was really good. This is my testimonial of it.
Sarah's hot take.
Yeah, no, it was I was so impressed, and I think that we can invite some people here in our living room to see you do stand-up.
Oh, yeah, Gracie, you have to come. It'll be fun.
I'm in.
Yes.
The only person that would venture out at 10 p.m.
Would you?
Tuesday.
Oh my God.
I totally would.
Yeah, perfect. Because these things are late. I was like, whoa, this is a new lifestyle. I was like, this is late. More fun things. We always play a game with our guest, so everyone can play along. So we're gonna do Screw, Marry, Kill. First one, our employers.
Obviously, marry Etsy.
I was like, I know exactly how this is gonna go, and that's why I'm doing it. All right.
Etsy.
So wait, Screw, Marry, Kill, Condé Nast, Refinery 29, and Etsy.
This is really tricky. I'm gonna say screw Refinery because they have a lot to offer.
Okay.
They might not be there yet 100%, like, you know, doing wonderful things, but like they have so much to offer, lots of potential, and so like, why not just
go for a quick
Refinery?
screw? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna marry Etsy.
Aww.
Because who wouldn't want to marry such a wonderful place?
Aw, it's inspiring. I love it.
Also, being so like our mission is keep commerce human, and I just feel like that's the thing that's going to sustain you in a marriage. So
I love that.
yeah. And the reason I would kill Condé Nast is because not because of any particular experience, but so all of my friends who work there could go elsewhere and potentially come work with me.
Aw, there you
So
go.
we want to kill Condé Nast only because it was a great experience, but like all good things must die. And you can come and work with me.
There we go. Perfect.
Diplomatic
That makes
enough.
sense. It's diplomatic. It's perfect. Well, I felt like I was like, okay, basically kill the place we don't work anymore because we don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
Love you, but like we moved on. You know, it's basically like divorce is the third option at this point. So the most HR answer ever. I would screw Etsy because I feel like Etsy is just such a really good culture. Like it would be like a good experience.
It's the snacks.
You know what I mean? The snacks.
The free
There's
snacks.
green plants on the wall. The
Sustainable.
roof. The like Etsy sale, like the party that I went to and I bought all those candles. I bought a lot of candles at one event. It was great. I love Etsy. So I would say I'd screw Etsy and I would marry Refinery because I like being a part of the company that is helping women to feel, see, and claim their power. I like how we both said our company's like mission statement.
Yeah.
And now the next one, screw, marry, kill, our favorite food places.
Yeah.
Our favorite like American farm to table, Westville. Our favorite Mexican, El Horno. What I like to call healthy Mexican because it is.
Yeah.
And Thai lemongrass. Screw, marry, kill.
I mean, this is an obvious answer for marriage. Is Westville.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean, anyone that knows me knows, including my mom, who might still be watching, asks me if I'm at Westville at least 3 times a week. It's the most consistent relationship I have. So marry Westville. I just went with that. I would screw El Horno because I feel like the healthy Mexican is like a rarity, and they have so many options.
Yes.
And then they have like healthy desserts and like green juices if you want. So I never feel guilty.
Yeah, never.
So I will screw them all the time.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to kill Thai lemongrass because it's too generic. Like
Too generic.
There's so
It's
much
just Thai.
good Thai. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just do Thai anytime and
Yeah. I would kill Thai.
yeah.
I would screw Westville because I like to vacation in Westville. I like to occasionally hit up Westville. But I would have to dock indefinitely.
You would be cheating on
El Horno. Like,
if you didn't marry it.
Yeah, me and El Horno, we have like a deep relationship. Nothing is bad from there at all. And they have an air fryer, and because I don't eat fried food, so they have an air fryer, and I have never eaten so many French fries since an air fryer has come into my life. So I love El Horno. That's us. That's our neighborhood food.
The end.
So that brings us into the final segment of the show, which is the Noah Centineo news segment. Woohoo! And I just have to take a moment. So last week on the show, I said he's bulking up. Not in a negative way, but I noticed he is gaining bulk weight so that he can train for He-Man. It has been brought to my attention that the general masses are body shaming Noah because he posted a photo where he didn't have a six-pack abs. How
That's sad.
very dare you? He is gaining weight for a part. How dare you? He looks, first of all, it looks like he is just taking a deep inhale, if anything. And you know what? He eats a lot of, he's a thin guy, and he's putting on weight for this He-Man role.
Yeah.
Which, the reason why I'm so anti the bulk for He-Man is because I'm anti He-Man in general. I'm not anti the bulk, I'm anti He-Man. I don't want him to do He-Man. I'm concerned for the longevity of his career. So I just wanted to clarify that just in case anyone ever thought that I was getting in on the body shaming, I would not be doing that to my mans. I would not body shame him. I am down for however he wants to grow and evolve himself. It's unfortunate that people are saying that. I could just imagine if the roles were reversed and if he was a woman and if we were shaming him for gaining a little weight. Let's leave Noah alone. Let him do his, bulking season, get his gains, what have you. Well, so that is the show this week. I want to say a huge, huge thank you to my guest and my roommate. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on the show. Thank you for being so supportive and such a big cheerleader and always being in my corner for this. So I really appreciate that.
I'm so proud of you. It's been great.
And I want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in, friends and family of Sarah, friends and family of me, people that I don't know. Thank you so much for tuning in week over week. It means the world to me. I love doing this and I really love putting out this content, and I hope that it's bringing you joy and a little bit of laughter because we could all use a lot more of that in this world. So thank you for watching, and go out there and spread some of that joy and that laughter. See you next week. Bye. Hi everyone, thanks for watching. To subscribe to my channel, click here, and to watch more videos, click here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video.
Sitting down, choosing happy.